Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina. It's 6 p.m. on January the 27th, 2024, and we've been married since the January 14th of 2024, and life is good, and I got my 1099s in the mail, so I've got to figure out my taxes. I got to pay my taxes to the government, so, you know, Uncle Sam can keep buying stuff that nobody wants and nobody needs. So we got that going on, and everything is good. I started the chat a few minutes early, just a few minutes early, so you guys can jump in there and ask me all the questions you want about the K1 visa. And today I've got guess what this is? It's water. It's water. It's agua. Michael Q. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Ross. What's going on, Michael Q?
Hola.
And Chris and Emma. Hi. Now, guys, don't forget, when you jump on the live stream with your questions about your K1 visas, help me out by telling me what country your beneficiary lives in. I get questions all the time on how long does it take for the embassy in whatever country to process a visa. I need to know the country. I mean, really, it does help me. There's some countries that are slow, and there are some countries that are fast. And right now, the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, is not moving too fast. Not because they don't want to, but they got lots of K1 visas to process. Okay. So, you got to be patient during this K1 visa process. Now, for you guys who are just getting new to the channel, you've never watched this before, Karina is from Venezuela. Okay. She's from Venezuela. She lived in Colombia for almost 6 years. Okay. And, I got her to the United States on a K1 visa. We got married, and now we're going to do the green card. So let me see. Michael Q, I'm doing well. I'm waiting for my NOA 2. Okay, good. NOA 1 is May 11th, 2023, and fiance lives in Germany. That's right, Germany, in Alemania. So May of 2023, so probably by February or March, so probably by March of 2024, March or April, hopefully you'll get to your NOA 2 letter because things are moving pretty quick. And the embassy in Frankfurt, Germany, the U.S. Embassy in Frankfurt, Germany, are processing K1 visas pretty quick. They're doing a good job. The thing you're going to have to do is when you get your NOA 2 letter, Michael Q, is you got to wait for your welcome letter from the National Visa Center. Because what's going to happen is your visa is going to get approved, okay, your NOA 2 letter. I'm assuming it's going to be approved, and then it's going to sit on a shelf at USCIS, I'm assuming in California, and then for a couple of weeks, and then it will get mailed off to the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. And then from New Hampshire, they will then call the embassy in Frankfurt, assign you a case number, say, okay, Michael, this is your case number, and this is your invoice number. Hopefully they give you that. And then you just got to wait for the embassy to receive it in Frankfurt. You will know when that happens when you get the in-transit status and then the ready status. When you get the ready status, send the embassy in Germany an email and say, hey, I'm just checking in. This is my beneficiary's case number, her passport number, her full name, her date of birth. Check in with the embassy. And you might get your packet 3, packet 4 email, which is the email to process your visa interview, a lot quicker that way. And let me see, Tasha Lynn's World. My husband is asking if he should file tax return with me for evidence or file it for himself. Tasha Lynn's World. If you got married in 2023, okay, if you got married in 2023, you can file your taxes together. If you got married in 2024, you cannot file your taxes together because your sponsor, your U.S. citizen sponsor, was single in 2023. Okay? Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for the government. I'm not a State Department employee. I give you zero visa. I give you zero legal advice. I give you visa advice based on my 9 years of experience. And Miss Betty, thank you, Miss Betty, for that super chat. That's much appreciated, Miss Betty. Is everything going good for you? Did everything come together for you? You should be married by now, right? So if you guys got married, okay, in 2023, then you should be able to file your taxes together. I would call the IRS and double check. Call the IRS and say, hey, can I file my taxes together with my husband? And I think you can. I think you can. But if you got married in 2024, we got married on January 14th of 2024. I got to file my 2023 taxes as single because I was single in 2023. Okay. And the IRS will have a heart attack if I filed married for my 2023 taxes because I wasn't. Okay. Then they'll come after me and then they're going to want me to redo the taxes and I got to pay my taxes. And then they're going to charge me interest and they're going to give me a hard time. The government loves doing that, right? Doesn't it? You've experienced that with this visa process. The government loves to give you a hard time. So call the Social Security office, call it for your Social Security number, call the IRS and see if you can file your taxes together. And let me see. I don't want to miss anybody's questions. So Tashleson's World, you should be able to file your taxes together. And Miss Betty, hi Diego and Karina, congratulations. Thank you, Miss Betty. And great, I thank you for that super chat also. We appreciate that. Fabienne Claremont, hi Diego, I got an RFE for marriage validity. For marriage validity, they just want more evidence of your relationship. Did you include a letter of intent to get married in your K-1 visa package? Did you include lots and lots of pictures of you guys together meeting each other? And on the photographs, it says, this is who I'm with. This is the date of the picture was taken. And this is the location the picture was taken. You got to have that information, guys. So marriage validity. I'm assuming that you're telling me they need more evidence of your marriage. So you filed for your green card? Is that what you did? You filed for your green card. You got to file a strong green card package. You got to put. I got a bill in the mail yesterday for the water bill. Was it for the water bill? Or was it? Yeah, it was. And Karina's name was on it. It says to me, to my name, and Karina. Her name was on that water bill. That's going in the green card package. Okay, you got to put together a strong green card package. That's why we haven't filed yet. I'm not going to file for the green card until I've got all this evidence of Karina living here. Okay, I'm going to wait for the trash bill to come in. I'm going to wait for the different bills, right? Trying to remember what bills I've got. The gas bill. And the gas is fine. They fixed it. There was no problem at the house. It was a false alarm. So we're good. Our gas lines are fine. Cost me $200 to find out that the gas lines are fine. Go imagine that, right? Miss Betty, I couldn't get married yet. Why not? What's up, Miss Betty? The wedding official asked $200 and waiting to do it in a court, but they don't have openings until March. And I want to ask you if we can do it in a church. You can get married anywhere you want, as long as the pastor or the wedding person is registered with the state where you live in to process the wedding. You got to have a legal document, a legal marriage license, right? So you can get married in the church tomorrow if you want, right? Go get it done in the church, but you got to get the marriage paperwork from the courthouse. So wherever you get married, you bring that paperwork to the ceremony, and then the person who conducts the wedding will sign off on the paperwork. You could jump on a plane and fly to Las Vegas and get married in Las Vegas if you want tomorrow. Boom, just like that. Don't be waiting on somebody else. When somebody tells you, I'm sorry, we have to wait for this, we have to wait for that, you tell them, I'm going to spend my $200 with somebody else. Okay? There's no openings until March in the courthouse? Seriously? That's crazy. Go get married in the church. Okay? Go do it. Go get married. Do it tomorrow. You got to have the marriage certificate, though. Okay? The marriage license, excuse me. Let me see. Miss Betty, I couldn't get married. Well, you get married tomorrow. You got the marriage certificate, the marriage license? Go get it done. KJB, hey Diego, I have been trying to book my fiance an interview in Sierra Leone, even at odd hours of the night, but I kept getting this message. There are currently no appointments. What do? You keep looking. KJB, one day you're going to open up that calendar and there's going to be a spot there and you're going to jump on it and take it. But you got to keep looking every day, every day, every day. Okay, it's nothing you're doing wrong. Okay, you're not doing anything wrong at all. But Sierra Leone, I believe, is on the west coast of Africa. The embassy is busy. They got a lot of stuff going on. They're processing K1 visas. They're processing tourist visas. They're processing spousal visas. You're not doing anything wrong. So keep looking. So it's the only thing I can tell you to do. Tashless Lynn's World. So I can send that as well for adjustment of status. Okay, for adjustment of status, your beneficiary, her name, all right, his name, this applies to both beneficiaries, male and female. Your names need to be on the gas bill. They need to be on the water bill. They need to be on the trash bill. You need to get him or her a library card. The name needs to be on the house, okay? On the lease agreement to the house. If you're paying rent on a house, your beneficiary's name needs to be on that lease agreement. Put him or her on the title to your car. Karina's name is on the title to our car. And I made a copy of the title, and there's Karina's name, and there's my name. That goes in the green card application. Immigration's going to say, okay, she's co-owner of the automobile. She's co-owner of the house. She's on the water bill. She's on the trash bill. She has a CVS card. She has a Sam's Club card. I'm going to get her a Sam's Club card. Okay? You can't do much as far as banking is concerned or driver's licenses without a social security number. So if you can get a social security number, right, go to the Social Security Administration, and then you can put her on your bank. Okay? Then you can get her driving, get her a state ID. But you got to show, guys, that you guys are living together and are married, and you got to include your marriage certificate. Lots and lots and lots and lots of pictures of your wedding and your honeymoon if you go on a honeymoon. You don't have to go on a honeymoon, but if you do, get a ton of pictures. And on the pictures, you put, this is Diego, this is Karina, this is us on the beach in Navarre. These are our wedding guests, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And it was at noon on January 14th, 2024 in Navarre, in Santa Rosa County. Make the immigration officer's job so easy. When you file for your green card, put all the information in document protectors, okay? And then so they can just flip through it like a book. Tina, hello, Diego and Karina. Good evening. What's going on, Tina? If my husband is not working yet, do I file my taxes jointly? Yeah, you file your taxes jointly if you got married in 2023. If you got married in 2024, you were still single in 2023, so you cannot file your taxes jointly. But you need a social security number, Tina, for your husband. Does your husband have a social security number? If he's got a social security number, you can file the taxes together. Do not use an ITN number. K1 visa applicants, spousal visa applicants are not authorized an ITN number. So don't try and get a social security number using an ITEN number. Can't do it. It's illegal. Don't do that. You got to go to the Social Security Administration and say, here's my K1 visa. Here's my I-94 when I came to the country legally. Here's my passport. Here's my biographic page of my passport. Here's my marriage certificate when I got married. Although that's probably not necessary, but bring it. And then here's my passport, U.S. citizen. Get you a social security number for your beneficiary, then you can file taxes together. Do not request an ITN number. Miss Betty, does my fiance need to do another medical exam again here too? It's up to you. I did. You got to include a 693 form in your green card package. When you apply for a green card, you got to put the form USCIS form I-693 included in that green card application. It cost me $175. I took Karina to Pensacola, redid the medical exam. The doctor signed off on it, put it in a sealed envelope addressed to USCIS, just like they did at the embassy in Bogota. It's just a repeat of what we did in Bogota, Colombia, but in the United States. Then that way, I'm not going to worry that I'm going to get an RFE. Oh, Diego, where's your wife's medical exam? I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be in there. And I got a copy here in case they lose it. So, Miss Betty, in my humble opinion, I would repeat the medical exam in your wherever it is you live, okay, by a civil surgeon approved by the U.S. State Department. Have him or her sign off on the paperwork, put it in a sealed envelope. He will give it to you with a signature on the back so you don't open it, and include that in your green card application. Some immigration attorneys, I'm not an immigration attorney. Some immigration officers are saying, well, you applied for your green card within 6 months, you had a medical exam in your country of origin, you don't need to repeat, but I want to see the vaccinations. Okay, fair enough. But some immigration officers are saying, I want to see a full medical exam, the complete medical exam. So just do it. Harold, hey, look at that super chat. Harold, we appreciate you. Thank you, Harold. We appreciate the super chats, guys. See me more, Joyce responded. So keep going, okay? Breestone Og, hey, from New Jersey, K1, from my Ugandan fiance. What's going on? How's the weather in New Jersey? How's the traffic? Now, in New Jersey, you're not allowed to pump your own gas, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But I remember I was in New Jersey years ago, driving in New Jersey for whatever reason. I can't remember. I was with the military. And I went to pump gas in my government vehicle. And the guy yelled and screamed at me, I can't do that. You know, and I responded back in broken Russian because I figured I was in the Soviet Union and said, why not? Why can't I pump my own gas? I said it in Russian. He's like, what? I said, is this the Soviet Union? What are we? Is this some communist country here? I can't even pump my own gas. Apparently it's something to do with labor laws. So I may be wrong. I don't know. K Messenger. Hola Diego and Karina. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien. Thank you. I looked yesterday at the CX website. It showed last updated 25th January. Prior to that, last update was December 9th. Anything of what the update could be? I have no idea. They should tell you. They may have updated your name. They may have just looked at it and said, okay, we're going to keep this K1 visa in process so your NOA2 letter doesn't time out. Remember, when you get your NOA2 letter, you're going to look at it. It's going to be, this visa expires in 4 months. But it doesn't, as long as you send an inquiry to the NVC or an email to the embassy and stay in touch with them and keep your visa process active. And Harold K, I filed the K1 visa May 2023. When do you think I'll get the NOA2? I would say March of 2024. March or April, right in there. Okay, Harold? Harold A, March or April of 2024, in the springtime. You're close. You're close. Be patient, okay? Let me see. So K Messenger, the immigration is just updating your case to keep your NOA2 letter active. Okay, that's basically what they're doing. Let me see. Oh, we got another super chat, guys. Man, you guys are just knocking it out today. Let me see. B-Stone off. Thank you, man. I thought Larry stocked us up on Mountain Dew. Now we've got enough to start the week of February. So let me see. I don't want to miss anybody's questions. Miss Betty. You need to get married in a church. Don't be waiting on some government bureaucrat telling you there's no appointments available at the government office. Wash your hands of them. Get your marriage certificate and get married in the church. And get the pastor to sign off on the marriage certificate. You got it? Let me see here. B-Stone, oh, hello. My fiance and I had kids during the process. Very good. That's good. And they are U.S. citizens through CRBA. Very good. They are still in Kenya. Oh, they're getting to live in Kenya for a while. That's good. Do I put them under Part 2, Section 13 as a dependent? Yes. On your I-134, they are your dependents. They're your kids. So your family size, you have how many kids? You have 2? If you said kids, so I'm assuming 2, right? So your family size is you, your wife, your soon-to-be wife, and your 2 kids. So that's 4. So your family size is 4. Now, on my chart here, the income requirements for a family of 4 Okay. The income requirements for a family of 4 for the embassy interview is $31,200 minimum. For the green card, you got to make at least $39,000 a year. All right. That's for the income for a family of 4. So I'm giving you more information than you need, but I'm just trying to keep you ahead of the game, right? So they're U.S. citizens. You don't have to worry about K2 visas. All you got to do is get them passports, okay? American passports from the embassy in Kenya. Nairobi is where the embassy is, in Nairobi. Get them their passports. Get them now. Don't wait for the last minute. Get the passports for the kids, okay? And you must include them as your dependents on the I-134 and also on the I-864, which is the affidavit of support. Very important, okay? You got that, right? K Messenger, no email received with package 3 and package 4. Well, package 3 and package 4 is an email. It's an email. It should be, that's what you're going to print for your beneficiary to get the medical exam. It's the packet, and you're going to use the packet 3, packet 4 email to schedule the visa interview. So let me see. Part 2, section 13. Yes, they are your dependents. They're not your beneficiary's dependents. They are your dependents. That's the sponsor. On the I-134, those are your kids you put under your name as your dependents. So your family size will be 4. Okay? Miss Betty, how long does it take to get his work permit? That's the EAD document. The employment authorization document takes about 3 to 3 months after we apply for the green card. He already got his social security number. Okay. So you got the social security number. Very good. The work permit takes about 3 months, and the green card will take 4 to 6 months. It all depends on where you live. Janiela James, hi Diego. Hope all is well with you. We're good. We're good. Good. Peanut, right? And let me see. See me more, Joe Responda. Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. How you're both? Hope you're both doing great. Francois, we're doing fantastic, and we're doing even better now. Harold and B Stone, we got Mountain Dew super chats today. So far, we just started the live stream, so I'm going to be good for Mountain Dew. Larry just left a message here saying, I got a copy of the papers from Albuquerque before noon Friday. Larry, I'm glad you listened to me. Sending me certified copy. That's correct. Wow, that must have been one of my sober days. I was shocked. Well, if you can get something from the government that quick, okay, then it's okay for you to have yourself a margarita, I'm sure. And then Larry Piercy fired off the corrections to the I-129F overnight Friday. You listened to me again, Larry. That's twice. I need to send you a super chat, but I can't. Very good, Larry. Hopefully I saved you a massive headache from immigration, okay? Get that divorce decree. They're going to ask for it in an RFE, okay? They're going to ask for it, and you already got it in the mail coming to you. So your K-1 visa process may slow down a little bit. Don't be surprised, but I've got you in the queue to fix it in day 1, right? So now when you get the RFE, looking for the divorce decree from Albuquerque, you're not going to have to be calling Albuquerque because it's going to be sitting on your desk at your house, ready to go, right? Right? Good job, Larry, on all of your proactive actions on your K-1 visa. Good job. Fabienne Claremont, welcome, Karina. Buenas Estados Unidos. Edward Tubman Jr., hi, Diego, from Liberia. Liberia is in Central Africa, right? Isn't it? Or on the west coast of Africa? Bud Garcia, hello, Diego and Karina from Washington State. Now, Bud, your beneficiary is in Thailand, right? She lives in beautiful Thailand. Just what? Just north of Bangkok? Close to Bangkok. The closer she is to Bangkok, Thailand, the easier it is for you to process her visa interview and her medical exam. There are people, okay, let's suppose you lived in Santa Marta, Colombia. Okay, you're a beneficiary, you live in Santa Marta, Colombia, which is a plane ride from Bogota, Colombia, or a 3-day bus ride. All Colombians and Venezuelans living in Colombia, they must process their K1 visas in Bogota. But there's lots of folks, lots of Americans engaged to Colombians and Venezuelans living in Cartagena, Bucaramanga, Santa Marta, and they gotta calculate how much time do they need in Bogota with hotels, with what if they're missing a document? They gotta you gotta coordinate this really well, guys. Okay, so if you live in Bangkok, Thailand, it's much closer to the embassy. It's much easier to process the visa for you. But if you live in Chiang Mai, right, then you got to fly to Bangkok. So food for thought. And let me see. Bud Garcia got you. Beast don't. Oh, yes, you can pump your own gas. It's a good way to create jobs. Well, I remember 22 years ago, I was in New Jersey, and I got yelled at for pumping my own gas. And I'm looking around going, you yelling at me? I'm like, dude, what's your problem? Apparently, he had to pump it because it was part of some labor union thing that they had in New Jersey. And Fabienne Claremont, may you kindly make a video about marriage validity. It's called the adjustment of status. I've made 3 videos, Fabienne, on how to adjust status for green card. One a year ago, one 8 months ago, and one 3 weeks ago. I don't know if you subscribe to the channel. Well, obviously you are, because today's only subscribers. Saturdays are only for subscribers, guys. I only answer questions for subscribers on the weekend. Okay. But on Saturday, you're a subscriber. If you page through the videos, you should be able to find the videos I made on adjustment of status for green card. That is the marriage validity video. I made 3 of them. Watch them. Watch all 3 of them if you want to. Tina, thank you, Diego and Karina. My husband does have a social security number. That way we can file jointly since we got married in 2023. You just saved yourself a ton of money. I was doing my taxes with Karina today. Yo proceso mi abuelero para gobernero. And so Karina's like, you got to pay all this? I said, yeah. But next year, no. Next year, it's a small number because we're married. We're married filing jointly. And Karina's like, well, you can't file for that now. I said, no. I was single in 2023, and I don't want the U.S. government, especially with the current president in office. I mean, if you miss 1 penny on taxes, he's going to come after you with interest. Just my opinion. Let me see here. Edward Tubman Jr. I received my case number and my ID number. Very good. That's your invoice number in July. What can I do from Liberia? You got all that in July, and we're now in January, going into February. You haven't scheduled a visa interview yet? You haven't got a visa interview scheduled in Liberia since July? Did you get in transit? Did you get ready status? Has the embassy contacted you at all? Has the U.S. Embassy in Liberia made any contact with you? I don't know. Angiaco, hi Diego and Karina, is the good point of entry the very first place we land in the USA? That's correct. That's correct. Even if it's not your final destination. When you arrive in the United States for the first time, you're going to be put through an immigration process. You're going to, in Miami, it's very easy. You go into a back office. They take your packet out, the packet that was sealed up by the embassy in Bogota. They take it out. They unseal it. They make sure you didn't unseal it. And it was 20 minutes. And then they punched the parole entry stamp into Karina's passport plus her I-94, okay, and put her I-94 entry number on the I-94 card. But I went online to the Border Patrol website and I downloaded her I-94 for the Border Patrol, legal copy, and that's all going in with her green card application. You must include your I-94 in the green card application. You must. If you don't, you're going to get an RFE. Did you meet face to face with a Border Patrol officer? Yeah. Okay. Where's your I-94? I don't know. What's an I-94? It's your arrival and departure form. You got to print it. How do you get it? You go to the Border Patrol website. Go to usborderpatrol.com or US Border Patrol /I-94. Click on the link that says you're new to the United States. You want to get a copy of your entry into the United States. You put in your name, your passport number, your nationality, Korean, Venezuelan, and your name pops up. There it is, I-94, and I printed the form, and that goes in the green card application. Okay. If you don't include your marriage certificate or marriage license or whatever it is in your state or parish, you're going to get an RFE. You got to include the proof, the evidence of you guys living together. So if your beneficiary arrives in the United States on, let's say, tomorrow, January 28th, 2024, and you file for the green card 4 days after that she arrives or he arrives, that's basically next to impossible to do. You got to have the I-94. You got to get, you got to put all this information together. How can you put your beneficiary on your electric bill if she's only been in the country for 4 days? You got to, get the green card application done within 90 days. 60 to 70 days is probably the best, okay? And get your beneficiary's name on all the bills, on the rent, on the deed to the house, to the title to the car. If you live in an RV, immigration don't care, but your beneficiary's name needs to be on the title to that RV, okay? And then you got to have a mailing address where your RV is permanently parked for now. Let me see. Francois Livingston. Good evening, Diego and Karina. You both look marvelous. Marriage is agreeing with you. Absolutely. Karina is my eternal companion. She's my eternal companion, Francois. I'm so lucky to have her, okay? Larry Piercy, I won't send it unless they ask. I can get it there that day. Larry, they're going to ask you for it, okay? This isn't my first rodeo, okay? This is my second. You know that if you had divorced in the past, especially for a green card holder, you got to show the divorce decree. And you got it. You figured it out. I helped you, right? Bud Garcia, I still have not gotten anything from NBC. What do you think? I will hear from them by my NOA2 was back in October 20th. October 20th. So let's forget October, November, December, January. So you're at about the same amount of time I had to wait for my NBC welcome letter. It took 119 days or close to 4 months between my NOA2 letter and my NBC welcome letter. It took about 4 months. So apparently the embassy in Bangkok, Thailand is busy right now, okay? Send the NBC an inquiry and ask them again and print that email. You got to keep in contact with NBC plus the embassy if it's sitting at the embassy. And then that keeps your NOA2 letter in play. Miss Entertainment, I live in Maryland. Okay, you live in Maryland. Now, I've been to Maryland. I went to the Inner Harbor in Maryland, and I went around. I took a tour of that very famous Navy ship that's parked at the Inner Harbor. Very historic. And if Maryland cannot get you into a government office to perform a marriage ceremony, it kind of reminds me of Los Angeles. Okay, I was thinking of getting married to Karina in Los Angeles, California, because the documents, the marriage information is kept private. You have a choice in Los Angeles. You got a choice. You can get married with public records or private records. So I was going to get married with private records because I want to protect Karina's information. But they told me it would take 8 weeks just to get a marriage license, and then another 4 to 5 weeks to get it processed. Well, I've only got 90 days. I don't have 5 months to wait on some government bureaucrat in LA to do their job. Okay? So if you live in Maryland and you can get married in a church, go get it done. Go get it done, Miss Betty. Larry Piercy, I still got connections in Albuquerque. Well, I understand. That's good. Just hopefully that they are not connections that's going to come bite you. All right? I lived in Albuquerque for 4 years. I loved Albuquerque, New Mexico. The only reason I don't live in Albuquerque, New Mexico right now, or in New Mexico, period, is because they will steal money from my wallet every year in a state income tax. And I don't like that, okay? my Navy retirement, I earned it, and I don't want a government bureaucrat in New Mexico taking it out of my wallet and giving it to them to spend on solar panels, okay, or hamsters running around in wheels to keep their energy going. I don't like that. So I live in Florida. But Larry, I'm glad you got your connections in Albuquerque. I loved it in Albuquerque. And yep, says Larry. Annie Persord. Hello and good night, Diego. What's going on, Annie? Beast on Og. Yes, twins. You had twins. Fantastic. That's great. You got twins. And they have their passports. Fantastic. Fiance going for interview on Tuesday in Nairobi. Man, that's such good news. I will go and travel back with them. Point of entry, New York. Very good. You're learning. You guys are learning so much from this channel, right? You don't want your beneficiary, man or woman, to travel to the United States by themselves. You need to be with him or her. So if you get any questions that pop up at the immigration interview, if they let you in, you're there, ready to answer. If the immigration officer in Miami asked me more questions than Karina, and I'm like, dang, dude, what's up? She's here. We're married. Green card's in process. I'm going to file for her green card in February. I'm still waiting for more bills to come in with her name on it. Okay? That's going in the green card application. Congratulations on your twins, Beastone.org. And you will have a great time coming in via New York. Just make sure you try to come in via New York when it's not cold and snowing, so the airport doesn't close because of bad weather. Check the weather, guys. Bud Garcia, yes, she does. She is from Cheng Buri, Thailand. Yeah, so that's not too far from Bangkok. So Bud, your beneficiary shouldn't have too much of a problem traveling back and forth, taking care of her medical exam and all that jazz. Yeah, 45-minute drive, right? It's not too far away. Francois Livingston, Diego, my heart just about dropped. If Howard A. filed in 523, and you think you'll hear from in April, then I should hear something in the summer. The waiting continues. Francois, you're going to be hanging out with us, waiting for your NOA2 letter. Okay? You're going to hang out. We're here for you. We didn't abandon you guys, right? So you can come out, you can come on the channel, and you can vent and scream and yell and all that stuff. Just don't use bad words, because YouTube don't like that. They'll do something to the channel if you do that. Okay? And we're going to help you get through this. Okay? Francois, we're going to help you. GS, hi Diego, and beautiful Karina, Hermosa Karina. Isn't she pretty, guys? Isn't she Hermosa? Pretty in pink. Yeah. Hermosa in Rosado. Yeah, that's right, GS. Not yet. Applied for K1. Yet my big question is, if the timing isn't right for interview in London and I have to decline, can we reapply? If you decline, that's a big red flag and will possibly be a problem for you to get a reapplication. You can change your visa interview date a week or two, okay? Although in the Philippines, you only get 3 shots at changing your interview date for the embassy. If you change it more than 3 times, on the 4th time, you're back in line waiting for 6 months. GS, do not ever decline, ever decline an interview at an embassy visa interview. And you're in London, right? You're in England. You're in beautiful England. Beautiful England. We love England. I love the fish and chips, the Jaffa cakes, the Marmite. No, I'm telling a story I can't stand. Marmite made me throw up. Okay? But I like the Jaffa cakes and the fish and chips, the cod and the haddock and chips, the pickled onions. GS, if you get a visa interview in London and you decline it, that's a big red flag. Okay? That's a big red flag. Don't do that. Francois, I only repeated my greeting only because I thought it was skipped. No, Francois, you can send as many greetings as you want. We're going to answer you, okay? As long as I don't miss it. Sometimes they run a commercial on the channel, which pays for the channel, right? YouTube, they got to make money somehow, right? And then that way I may not read your question. Beastone.org, I'm a disabled veteran. Thank you for your service. I added on part 8 that I get monthly compensation. Is that from the VA? I received the letter from the e-benefit and bank statement. Will that be considered? That's good. Yeah, you can do that. You can use that. You're good. Get bank statements showing where your money is direct deposited. Immigration want to see the money going in your bank, and then highlight the direct deposits on your bank statements, okay? GS, I have to deal with the welfare of my mom. I understand. Plus, selling property in the UK is a guessing game. I can imagine. You should try buying a house in Colombia. I tell you, you got to make sure the titling is correct before you even do that. You got to spend $1,000 to look up the title on a property in Colombia before you even look at buying a house there. It's not easy. And getting timing right, hence the gamble. Well, here's the deal. You need to find somebody in England who you trust who could sell your property for you. Okay? And as for your mom is not going to stop you from starting your life over in the United States of America. Isn't your sponsor a military guy in Arizona? Isn't he in Arizona? Your mom's not going to want you to hold up your life. Okay? She's not. She's not going to want you to do that. She's going to want you to commence your life with your new husband in Arizona. And I'm sure you can find somebody to help her and to sell your property. Okay? K1 visa process is not easy. It's not easy. You got a lot of things to consider. There's a lot of stuff you got to do. Especially, like for Karina, we had an apartment in Bogota. It was a nice apartment. We had all this furniture. Her brothers lived close by, her nieces and nephews, and she gave it all up to come here. It was a nice place. Okay, there's nothing wrong with Colombia or Bogota other than the traffic sucks, and we have the occasional earthquake. The trembler. Karina was in a dollar store, was it Dollar City in Bogota, and a big earthquake hit, and it was shaking. And she's in the dollar store trying to buy stuff, and the whole building's shaking. And then she gets home and she's calling me. We had a massive earthquake. I thought she was kidding. And then when a Venezuelan who lives down the street was so scared, she jumped out of a 5-story window to try to get her. She thought the building was going to come down on top of her. She jumped out of a 5-story building and she got killed. When all she had to do was just stay in the apartment and wait it out. Yes, it's a K1 visa process. You got to consider so much. Family separation, Karina's got 11 brothers and sisters, and they're all over South America. Okay, we're going to go visit them again, but when she's an American, when she's got a passport that says United States on it, then we're going to travel. But we're going to go to England first. Okay, Karina wants to see England, April Flower. Hi, Diego. I know this question is not K1 visa related. It's okay. But what can someone who comes from another country with no English work in the U.S.? So if someone comes from another country with no English, what work can they do in the United States? Well, number one, they got to have a green card or an authorization to work here. You got to be legal, number one, although there's probably 11 million who are not here legally, plus maybe 30 million, who knows? You got to be legally here. And if you cannot speak English, you probably want to get a job that's not service related. Get a job in construction. I don't know. You got to be able to speak English pretty much to be able to get a job here. You got to be able to have some. You got to have some English under your belt. Like I was in Colombia for 2 years, back and forth. I had to learn Spanish. I had to learn. Okay. My landlord, our landlord would come up to me and talk to me about okay, don't forget the rent's due next week. And I got to learn what rent was in Spanish. So Aguilera. I learned that. I learned what that was. I learned Spanish. I had to know I had to speak the language to survive in Colombia. Okay. I wasn't going to be here waiting for Karina for 2 years by myself. So my friend took care of the house and I was back and forth to Colombia. It cost me a fortune. And I learned Spanish. So Basically, to answer your question, April Flower, the person really should learn English to work here. Seriously, and be legal. Green card, EAD, employment authorization document, a company sponsorship, whatever. And Juanita's in the house. What's up, Juanita? ¿Cómo estás, Juanita? Diego, good evening to you and Karina. And then Edward Tugman Jr. No, I haven't received anything from the U.S. Embassy since July. Have you been emailing people? Have you been emailing the NBC once a month or twice a month? You got to, Edward, listen to me. You got to stay in touch with the embassy with emails. If you don't make contact with the embassy or the NVC, you and your sponsor, your visa will time out and it will be closed. They'll close it out. Then you got to start all over again from the beginning. Juanita, I had a question about uploading taxes in National Visa Center. Okay, so you're on a spousal visa then. What is the federal tax schedule? Can my fiance leave that blank? He just has his W-2s and 10. Okay, the tax schedule will be 2023. That's what the tax schedule is. I don't get the federal tax schedule. The federal tax schedule is the year that you're filing taxes for. So in 2024, you go to irs.gov and look for the tax schedule of 2023. I'm thinking that's what it is, or is that the tax? That's the tax tables, right? Tax tables, tax schedule. Isn't that about the same thing? Like I'm not a CPA, guys. I'm just kind of winging it. Because when I went through a spousal visa back in 2016, 2017, or somewhere in there, I had to upload my 1040s, my tax returns, and my W-2s. Back then, I was working for Mercedes-Benz. So I was uploading W-2s and 1040s. Now I work for myself. So if I was going through a spousal visa at the NBC, I'd be uploading 1099s and my 1040s and my tax transcripts. Tax schedules, that's an interesting one. I don't know what that is. It could be the tax table. You got to upload the federal tax schedule? That doesn't make sense to me. So, you know, don't even respond to that. There's nothing to upload. Okay. Honestly, I don't see what I think you leave it blank. Honestly, Larry. Yeah. So do I put a note that I forgot about being married because I was drinking? You can say that if you want, as long as you say you were drinking water. Black Bella. Hey Diego and Karina, our interview is February. If I was to move to another state before he gets here, will that affect the process? No, not at all. But when you go to the visa interview with your beneficiary, you will update your I-134, the Declaration of Financial Support, with your new address on it. And then when you file for the green card, you're going to put your new address on the paperwork for the green card application. So you can move if you want. It's fine. Just make sure you update your I-134, the DS-160, and the green card application, because your green card will be mailed to you on the address you put on your green card application. Rooster, good evening, Diego and Karina. I'm learning a lot from the information you're putting out to us, going through the process. Well, that's the goal, Rooster. I've done this thing so many times. I can write the book on K-1 visas, my friend. I can write the book on spousal visas. I'm not a tax accountant. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice, okay? I don't. But I give you personal experience. And 99.9% of the time, I'm totally right. Okay? And then go back to the tax schedule. The tax schedule is something filed, I believe, if you're self-employed. If you're self-employed, okay, I think that's when you file the tax schedule. But if you're working for somebody, you file the 1099s, or if you the W-2s, or if you work for yourself without somebody, then you file the 1099s. So I don't think you need a tax schedule unless you're self-employed and you have your own company or your own business. You know, let's suppose you're the president of a company. Then I think that's when you'd upload the tax schedule. KJB, you missed my question. Okay, KJB, what question did you have? I didn't see it. Let me see here, KJB. Hold on. I'm looking for your question. Where is it? It's not here. It didn't show up. I just paged all the way up there, KJB, and your question has been abducted by extraterrestrials because it's not here. Because if you posted the question, I would have answered it for you. All right. So I'm looking. So Juanita, don't worry about the tax schedule. That's got to do with self-employment. Seriously. If you're a president of a company. Let me see. Edward, who's responsible for the K1 DS160? The beneficiary is responsible for the K1 DS160. The K1 DS160 form is the beneficiary applying for the K1 visa. And the form is in English. If your beneficiary cannot read, write, or understand English, you, Mr. Sponsor, who can, are allowed to fill out the DS160 and help your beneficiary fill out the DS160. But you got to tell immigration at the bottom of the form, this is, yes, I did help. I helped Karina with her DS160. She can't read English. So I'm asking the questions over the phone. Mi amor, ¿tú entiendes esta pregunta para inmigración? She goes, yeah. I said, ¿cuál es tu responda? Esta. Okay. So I filled it out for her. They asked me, did anybody help you fill out this form, Miss Karina? Yes, I did. So I put my name and address as the person that helped to fill out the form. And then I put Karina's name, Karina's full name at the end of the DS160, and I punched it and I submitted it. Okay. And it was an electronic signature. I then printed the DS160 confirmation page and I put it in my file full of stuff to bring to when I flew to Colombia, I brought it with me and gave it to her. You are allowed to help your beneficiary fill out the K1 DS160. But who is responsible for it? The beneficiary. This is the beneficiary asking for the K1 visa, but the sponsor can help you fill it out. Do you understand what I'm saying, Edward Tubman Jr.? Do you understand what I just said? Francois, so when, in your opinion, you think we are here in the summer? I was saying this I would say probably May or June, Francois. And it's already 2024. So let me say this. This year, very soon, you're going to hear from immigration. This year, spring, summer, not much long. Spring is going to be here. Karina's sick and tired of this cold weather. Okay. And then she's going to be sick and tired of the hot weather because it's hot here. Okay. Just wait it out. Patience. KJB, I couldn't find your question. It's not listed. Repeat it. Scott Boyne, just found you today. Well, welcome, Scott, to the channel. This is your channel for you. Thank you for your wisdom and experience. My Thai fiance and I are currently at the MVC stage. Okay, so are you in a K1 visa or are you in a spousal visa? Scott, let me know. Welcome to the channel. Remember, guys, this channel was created for you. Karina's idea is her idea. We were in Villa de Leyva in central Colombia, exploring Casa de Nariño, Antonio de Nariños. Is that correct? Casa, very historical in Colombia, very famous person. He's kind of like the Thomas Jefferson, the James Madison of Colombia. And Karina said, you're here in Colombia on this visa, why don't you start a YouTube channel for K1s or help people with their visas? And I said, well, I don't have a laptop. I don't have lights. I don't have nothing. So she said, well, this is Colombia. This isn't Venezuela. You can go to the store and buy a laptop. I said, okay. So Karina and I, we jumped on the Transmilenio. We went to a store called K-Tronics, and I bought a $1,200 laptop. Okay. And I bought some lights, kind of, and I started the channel for you guys. And here we are, a year later plus, right? KJB, please repeat your question, my friend. GS, yes, he's a drill sergeant in Arizona, now a veteran. but my mom is 100% dependent on me, so I have to put her in a care home. You got to do what you got to do, GS. You cannot stop your life. You can't put your life on hold for the person you love. And your mom would agree with me. Your mom, okay? Your mom would agree with me. And she's going to tell you, daughter, go get married to your love of your life and go live in Arizona. She's going to tell you to do that. And I'm telling you, you got to do that. Okay? I have chosen my soldier over my 92-year-old mom. No, you haven't. You haven't chosen your soldier over your 92-year-old mom. You have chosen to continue your life with your new husband to be very soon, who you love. And your mom is going to be very happy for you in England. And you're going to write each other postcards. Okay? She's going to mail you Jaffa cakes in care packages. And unless you buy it in the store, I don't know which part of Arizona you're going to be in. But in Tucson, Arizona, and in Phoenix, Arizona, there are British stores there which sell British food. Okay, you didn't abandon your mom. Okay, you haven't done that. That's not true. You have started your life. Karina's got 11 brothers and sisters, and a beautiful, Paula and Ajay and Michael. My nephews and nieces. They live in Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela. Her mom lives in Venezuela. Okay, her mom was happy for Karina. Tu mama muy feliz para ti. Her mom was telling Karina she's happy for her. Your mom's happy for you, GS. Your mom is so happy for you. Trust me. Okay. Tony. Hi, Diego. Thanks so much for what you're doing. I would like to know how much evidence do I need to submit for K1 visa? Just photos and plane tickets? Good enough. No, it's not good enough at all. That's a weak package, Tony. Don't do that. When you submit your K1 visa package, okay, now I made a 30-minute video, 25-minute video on what you need to include in a K1 visa package. It's much easier if you page through, okay, and look for that video, K1 visa application video, and watch it for 20 minutes, or just skip through whatever you need, watch it for here, then skip to whatever you need. And that's what you're going to learn how to submit a K1 visa package. That's how you learn. That's why I put the video together. So I don't have to sit here for an hour and explain it to you on one subject. That's not enough, Tony. Okay, you got to include more than just the plane tickets, the photos. It's not good. It's not enough. You got to put evidence of a 1-year relationship. WhatsApp chats, Yahoo Messenger chats. Do you have a year's worth of chats between you and your beneficiary? What country? Tony, what country are we talking about? Is it a faraway country or is it a very close country? Like Colombia, it's just a bus ride for me. It's like 2 planes and 6 hours, 8 hours max. Unless I fly to Houston and in Panama, then Bogota, which is crazy. But I did it once before. I'd never been to Panama, so I flew to Panama. What country are you in, Tony? I'll help you through the process. I'll get you through it, but you need to submit a bunch more evidence than just the I-129F photos and the plane tickets. Okay? Did you buy any gifts for your beneficiary? Do you have receipts? I bought Karina a cell phone. Her phone died. I was with her in Colombia and her phone died. It was a Venezuelan phone. It lasted a long time, but it just poof, it went. And it was right around her birthday, March of 2022. So I went to the store and I bought her a new cell phone, and it was a gift. Here, my bon cumpleaños para mi Karina, mi beautiful prometida. I kept the receipt. I put it in the K1 visa package. This is a gift. Christmas. I spent Christmas with her family and everybody. I bought everybody Christmas presents. I kept the receipts. That went in the K1 visa package. I moved her out of the small 1-bedroom apartment and moved her into a big 2-bedroom penthouse with plenty of room. I put my name with the landlord and with Karina. I put my name on the deal. So I've got evidence that I was paying the rent on our apartment. That went in the K1 visa package. If you submit just plane tickets and photos and the I-129F, you're going to get an RFE, Tony, asking for more evidence of your relationship. Juanita, correct. There's a field that says upload federal tax schedule. That is confusing. No, forget about. Don't do that. It's irrelevant. If you have W-2s and 1040s or tax transcripts, don't worry about that. It doesn't matter. Kinza Zane, I send the original IRS transcript along with my passport like a day later. Put AP without an explanation. What could possibly go wrong? I'm worried about the delay. How long will it take to get a decision? 6 to 8 weeks for an RFE. 6 weeks. Bud Garcia, is there a way to check the status of my K-1 packet? Your K-1 packet is at the service center in California. That's where it is. Or you can create a USCIS account online and go in there on your phone, and it will tell you your K-1 visa packet is at the service center in Texas, California, Nebraska, wherever. Furious Ram, hey Diego, my fiance has his interview on the 30th. Okay, but I filed my 2023 taxes. Can he use that instead of 2022? Most definitely. In fact, you have to. If you filed your 2023 taxes, you have to show them. Okay, you don't have to unless April 15th has passed of 2024. But you know, I'll backpedal on that and say I would, especially if the income's greater. If your 2023 income is much greater than your 2022 income, get the tax information to your beneficiary. You probably won't be able to get the tax transcript because it's the IRS probably hasn't populated that information yet. But definitely the 1040, okay, and the W-2. Jeffrey Garcia. Hey Diego, when my fiance arrives on the K-1, when is she able to work? Well, you got to adjust the status for green card, and if you want to, you can include an EAD request, which is an employment authorization document. Your beneficiary will get a work permit to use temporarily while waiting for the green card. Okay, or you can do like Karina and I are going to do and just file for the green card and wait for the green card. Just wait for the green card. But you cannot work until you have the work permit or the green card in your hand. Larry Piercy, should I redo the whole I-129F? No. Redo that one page I told you to redo. Just the one page. If the addition is the same, if the date of the I-129F is the same, Larry, listen to me. If the addition date and the on the I-129F is the same as the one you filed, okay, the only page you got to fix is that page 8, which I looked at. Okay, I went through your K-1 visa package and found it's a minor error. You can either wait for the RFE or you can redo that page and send it in. What I would do is just wait for the RFE, because maybe the adjudicator will give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, maybe, but I don't think so because it's a legal document. I would just do the page 8 or the additional marriage. Wait, no, on that one you're just going to wait for the embassy you're going to wait for USCIS to contact you on that. Don't do anything. See if they ask you for it first on that one, okay? But get that divorce decree ready to go in case they ask you for it. More than likely they will, okay? But don't send that right now. Just hold off on that. Scott Boyne, so you're in a K-1. So the MVC so Scott, if you're in a K-1 visa packet process, let me reread what you were asking me. I'm going to look here. Welcome to the channel, by the way. But I'm going to relook at what you said. Where is it? I got lots of people asking me stuff today, which is great news, right? But if you're in a K-1 visa process, the MVC, they don't do anything but assign you a case number. That's all they do. They assign you a case number. And if you're at the MVC stage, so what you did was you received a welcome letter from the MVC. Now what you're going to do is you're going to wait for the NVC to assign you a case number and mail your K1 visa package to the embassy in Bangkok, Thailand. When that happens, you're going to get an in-transit status, okay? In transit. Then you're going to wait for the embassy in Bogota to give you the ready status, okay? And then what you need to do is email the embassy in Bangkok, Thailand, check in with them, and that will extend your NOA2 letter automatically to when you schedule the visa interview. So you don't have to worry anymore about your NOA2 letter expiring. GS, thank you. Sierra Vista, Arizona. Okay, I've been there. Thank you for your positivity. It means so much to me. Yeah, GS. Karina's mom, Venezuelan, okay, got her daughter out of Venezuela into Colombia, helped. Karina gave her mom whatever she gave her, right? Karina hadn't seen her mom for years, okay? So I got Karina back to Venezuela for a visit with mom. Mom said, get married to Diego, go start your life in America, get it started. I'm here in Venezuela. We got cell phones. We got WhatsApp. We got Messenger. Okay? Don't put your life on hold. Karina's mom said this. Don't put your life on hold for me. And Karina said, okay, mom. And here she is in America, in Florida, with me, happily married, living the life. Karina can contact her mom right now if she wanted to. Hey, mom, ¿cómo estás? ¿Tú bien? See? Right now, she can contact her mom. So, GS, get your mom an iPhone or an Android or whatever so you can stay in touch with her when you move to Arizona. Okay? You can do it. Don't put your life on hold for anybody. Okay? Not even mom. Right? Right? Don't do that. Your mom will be angry at you if you do that. Jay Baxter, hey, I just wanted to thank you for your advice. It has helped me. I received my USCIS letter on January 17th. Now it's a waiting game for 12 to 18 months. Okay, Jay Baxter, so you followed the channel. You followed the information that we put out to help you, and you got your NOA1 letter. Now you're waiting for your NOA2 letter. When you get your NOA2 letter, we're here for you. We're not going anywhere. We will help you get through the process step by step, paso, paso, paso. Okay? Just relax. Don't stress this out. Do not let immigration stress you guys out. Don't do it. It took me 9 years to find the love of my life and go through this immigration nightmare twice, plus a spousal. Karina's right here. She's here with me. If I can do it, and if I can learn Spanish, seriously, if I can learn Spanish, and if I can do this, you can do this without an attorney. You don't need an attorney, guys. The only time you need an immigration attorney for a K1 visa process is if you have a bad criminal history. Let's suppose you got some felonies or whatever, okay, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, and you go to an immigration attorney and say, hey, look, here's my criminal record. Can you look it over and see if I qualify for the K1 visa? The immigration attorney, you pay him $100 for his 20 minutes of work, and he'll look over your criminal record and say, you qualify for the K1, you don't qualify for the K1. If you qualify for the K1, he or she will then spend the next 20 minutes trying to convince you to pay him or her $4,000 to fill out a 13-page document. Don't do it. Jump on the channel. I'll help you. Let's see here. So we're glad for Jay Baxter. While waiting, is there any forms I can fill out or any documents I should collect and get ready? Not right now. Jay Baxter, the forms will expire. Immigration like to update their forms, and they will expire possibly. So right now, just relax and wait for the NOA2 letter. Put your feet up on the desk at night. Call your beneficiary, call your prometida, call and chat and chat and chat. Screenshot the chats. So this is what you can do. You can keep copies of your communication. That's what you need to do. And you need to plan another trip to go see her. I flew to Colombia 4 times, five times. 5 times. K1 kept all the boarding passes. The immigration knew me by my name. I didn't even have to check in. Well, obviously I had to check in. Hey, man. Hey, Diego, over here. Vamos. Welcome back to Colombia. Seriously. So Jay Baxter, you don't do anything right now except wait for your NOA2 letter and print your communications. Maintain contact with your beneficiary and prove it with printouts. Juanita, Diego, do you think the U.S. Embassy in Bogota will take my wedding photo album? No, they'll give it back to you. No, they're not going to take that from you. No. I have over 200 photos of my husband and I just want to show them proof. They will give it back to you. The only time the embassy in Bogota will keep pictures is if you print them on paper like this. You don't put them in an album. You put them in document protectors, and you tell the immigration officer, here, you can keep them. Then they'll keep them. And then they'll go back after they approve your visa. Then they'll shred them in a document shredder because they got no place to put this stuff. They will not keep your wedding photo album, Juanita. You are good to go. Tepra Odiamambo. Hello, Diego. I got the MERV payment fee. That's your receipt for your K1 visa. You paid for the visa fee, right? But it won't let me. It says no appointments. Okay, so your visa fee is good for 12 months, 12 fiscal year months. So what you got to do is keep checking back, looking for an appointment. Have you submitted the DS-160? The DS-160 is good for a year. The visa fee payment is good for a year. Okay, you got it? It's good for a year. Just keep looking for appointments, okay? Just keep looking, Tepra. Jeff Garcia, thank you, no problem. And Larry, additional marriage. Why is there a K on additional? Oh, there you go. Archer, USA. Archer, hello, Mr. Diego. How are you guys doing? We are good. Now, Archer, okay, Archer came from Algeria, beautiful, beautiful country, North Africa, right? Lots of desert. Got married and lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay, I don't forget you guys. And then Archer says, like the live stream. Listen up, guys. I never ask you to like or subscribe to this channel. It's your channel. You either like it or you don't, okay? If you don't like it, put it down. If you do like it, put it up. But I never ask you to do that. And how are we doing? We are good, Archer. And Larry says, I'm locked and loaded. Thanks, no problem. Chris and Emma, the other day I was on the Facebook. What are you doing on Facebook, Chris and Emma? I was with the K1 visa group, right? I noticed a lot of people of this week being approved. Why are you on Facebook, first of all? It was skipped by November. Rarely go on Facebook. I was curious to see. Stay out of there. Facebook, stay out of that drama swamp. Facebook is a drama swamp. Don't go in there. You go into Facebook, look at you. You're already posting stuff. Don't do it. Stay out of there. Delete your Facebook account, but don't do that until you have your beautiful prometida in the USA and you guys get married, because you can use Facebook as evidence of your relationship. Post pictures on Facebook publicly if you can, so immigration can see it. Immigration is going to look at your Facebook account. They're going to look at your Instagram account. That's why they ask for it when you fill out the DS-160. Karina's like, I asked Karina, I said, do you have like Twitter? She goes, what? What the heck is that? You mean X? I said, oh, X. No, I don't have that. Okay. I said, you got Facebook. You got Instagram. Do you have any other social media besides those two? No, that's it. Okay. Immigration want to know. They want to know what your social media activities are. So stay out of those, bad places in Facebook. Let me see. Rooster, I will travel February and March to meet my fiance. The I-129 form expires the end of March. There you go. Keep an eye on the expiration date. Should I wait for the new form before filing? No. If you file the I-129F form in February or before it expires, They will accept it, okay? But do not use that expired form to file for your K1 visa in April. Let's suppose you file for your K1 visa in April using the March form. It'll get rejected. But if you file for your K1 visa before that form expires, they will accept it. Kins is saying 8 weeks for appointment, not 4 months, 6 months, or 8 months. Why did they make me send them the passport if they wanted me to put on AP? Well, if you sent them your passport, then your visa's good. You just got to wait for it to come back. Francois, Diego, I'm so sorry to be a pain about this, but I want from being super happy the other night when you said we would hear something in 2 to 3 months. Well, what is it? It's February, right? February, March, April. You're going to hear from immigration. So July of 2023. So July of 2023. So June, May, April, May, or June of 2024, April, May, or June, right in there, you should get your NOA2 letter. Okay, Francois, it's not much longer, okay? It's not much longer. You can do this. You can do this. It's 9 years for me. You can wait 3 months, right? Can you wait 3 or 4 months? I waited 9 years. How many months is in 9 years? Let me see. It took me 9 years to get my beautiful wife here. So how many months is that? What's that, 108 months? You're the mathematician. That's 108 months. You can wait 3 or 4 more, Francois. Right? You can do it. Kins is saying, can I hire a lawyer? If you want to, sure, you can do that. Juanita, thank you. You're welcome. Las Barreras. Hi, Diego and Karina. I have a question. The transcripts for the IRS works, or should I take the originals from my accountant? Take both. When Karina went to her K1 visa interview in Bogota, Colombia on November 16th, 2023, she had my tax transcripts for 3 years. She had my 1040s for 3 years. She had my 1099s and my W-2s from when I wasn't self-employed for 3 years. She had 3 years worth. Tax transcripts, 1040s, W-2s, 1099s. And the consular officer only took my tax transcript and tax return and 1099 for 2022. Just one. But they could ask for 2 years. They could ask for 3 years. Be prepared, okay? Juanita, I just remembered something for those needing advice. My husband had to go through the hurdles to obtain his entry exits. His entry exits from what? Let me see. From my, yeah, I understand. You're talking about from Colombia, because he always went through biometric fast lane, never got his passport stamp. When I left Colombia on January 3rd, 2024, with my beautiful Karina, that was the first time that they never stamped my passport. They took a biometrics. They used my eyes as biometrics. Okay? They didn't stamp anything. I'm like, what the heck? This is all new. The whole thing in El Dorado International Airport, everything changed. I'm like, what the heck? I've been in Colombia 3 months. They've already changed the airport around. How'd they do that? They do biometrics now on the eyes. They no longer stamp the passport with a rubber stamp. So I understand what you went through there, Juanita. Jay Baxter, we currently video call the majority every day, but she lives in Thailand, so it's about 24-hour flight each way. So a trip out there will be a little pricey, but I think I will try. Thank you. Jay Baxter. My dad lives in Chiang Mai, Thailand. My dad. He's married. My mom died. He got married to a lady from Thailand, and he never came back. He never came back. Started a family. I think my dad's like 85 now, and his wife is 52, and they've been married since 25 years. They've been married for a long time, and he keeps trying to get me to go to Thailand. What he did, he gave up asking me now. I'm not going to fly to Thailand. It's 24 to 30 hours on a plane. My backside couldn't handle it. I told him, come here, you know. So I understand it's very expensive and it's a long flight for you, Jay Baxter. But guess what? Do not make the mistake of not going back to visit her again. Go do it. Go visit again. Keep your boarding passes. Get all your pictures with her friends and family. Don't forget to put on the pictures, who's in the picture, the date the picture was taken, where the picture was taken. Make another trip. It's an investment in your family. Okay? It's a huge investment in your family. Immigration asked Karina, how many times have I been to Colombia to visit with Karina? See? The recorded pregunta. She said, well, 4 times, but 5 times if you count the time he's here now. And they said, well, where is he? If he's here, where is he? And she said, well, I was sick in bed. I had the flu. I had the Bogota flu. I had mountain sickness, and I couldn't get out of bed. I was just sick as a dog. And Karina said, he's sick as a dog back home. And so they put in their computer, I was in Colombia, and I was sick. Karina had copies of the boarding passes to show I was in Colombia. I could prove it. I proved it, but I just wasn't there at the embassy interview because tell you what, guys, I love Bogota, Colombia. I love the city. It's a fantastic city. But I can't, my body cannot stand being at 10,300 feet above sea level. I was sick a lot in Colombia, a lot. I couldn't do it. I'm so glad to be at sea level. Whew, but I love Bogota. Juanita, big mistake. Make the line and get it stamped or it will be hard to get proof. That's good. He had to go to Migration Colombia, big hurdles. Yeah, he probably had to go downtown to Bogota, to the migration office near the World Trade Center of Colombia, of Bogota. Francois, look at that super chat. Ooh, man, Francois. Francois, you got to listen, Francois. You're going to be just fine, okay? You're going to be fine during this K-1 visa process. You got to be patient. It took me 9 years to get to this point. 9 years, guys. I didn't give up. I mean, it's like, you know, it was an insane amount of time. But you know what? Here she is. Here she is. And thanks for that super chat, Francois. But you got to hang in there, okay? And if you go to Bogota, if you're a sponsor, let's update this channel right here. If you go to Bogota, Colombia to meet with your beneficiary, make sure you go to the line where you get a stamp in your passport. Okay? Don't go through the biometrics. Don't do it. Ask for a physical stamp for immigration purposes, for USCIS. Alfonso House, a new member, listen to you. Chat. I'm old school, first time ever using this. If I could somewhere, I'd like to talk to you. Well, talk to me right here. I talk to everybody right here, guys. And Tokyo our cat is right under my feet. So I got to be careful how I swing my swivel chair so I don't catch his tail. Because then you're going to hear Tokyo screaming. And he's going to be angry at me. So Alfonso, if you got questions, ask them right here. Ross Lee, Diego, good evening. I'm on my 3rd base, betting on February 22nd at the Bogota Embassy. Okay. Now I'm just getting all the papers ready. Thanks for your video you made regarding the various packages needed. So Ross Lee, you watched the video on how to assemble the paperwork for your visa interview, right? You did, right? And you're going to get an A+. You're going to knock the ball out of the park when you go to the embassy visa interview in Bogota. And Juanita made a very good point. If you go to Bogota to meet with your beneficiary, make sure you get a stamp in your passport. Let me see. Francois, what if we don't post pics because of all the people on social media, nothing but snoopers, busybodies, and stalkers, and don't post on Facebook and delete the account? If you don't use Facebook, don't use it. Don't post nothing on there. Delete the account. Okay? So when immigration asks you, do you have a Facebook account? And you say no, you ain't lying. And they're not gonna ask to look at it, right? If you don't have it, that's my recommendation. Get rid of it. I can't stand Facebook. I really just dislike it immensely. You know, if you post something on there that offends somebody, they block you for 3 days or for 2 weeks or for 30 days. I'm like, this is America, right? Don't we have a First Amendment right to free speech? And then somebody gets offended on Facebook and you get blocked for 30 days. I'm like, I don't need this. Can you imagine if your cell phone company blocked you from using your telephone if you offended somebody? You're yelling at your cousin down the street because he hasn't returned the lawnmower you lent him, and you're screaming at him, and the AT&T operator's listening in on your phone call, and she said, you can't do that. You can't be screaming. You can't be cussing at. You can't be cussing at your primo like that. I'm going to block you from using your cell phone for 30 days. Do you know what kind of a lawsuit they would get? AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile? They'd be in front of a federal judge like that. If you have Facebook and you don't really need it and you don't use it, delete it. Get rid of that communist, socialist, social media garbage. Get rid of it. Let's see here. Las Barreras. Should I add bank statements or pay stubs? Both. I gave Karina 12 months worth of bank statements, and I highlighted all my deposits from from the Navy retirement. I gave her pay stubs from where I work at. I work out of the house, but I got included pay stubs. And immigration saw the pay stubs. They saw the bank statements. They saw my tax returns for 3 years. They were very happy, and they said, okay, Karina, just give me the last year's tax statements, and you're good. How about that? Cover yourself. Cover yourself. Francois, I know I can do this. Of course you can do this. And I'm patient because I had 2 children. Ooh, yes. 2 children will wear you down. And I know the waiting time for a baby to be born, 9 months, right? If you can wait 9 months for a baby, okay, you can wait 3 more months for your NOA2 letter. It's all going to be good, right? Ahmed Meha. Hi, Diego. Ahmed, what's up going on, Ahmed? We hope you are doing well in your neck of the woods. Chris and Emil's talking to Francois about posting on social media. I don't even get on it. Barely on, though. I agree people will bash about your personal life. Get rid of Facebook, guys. Delete that garbage. Karina uses Instagram for cakes. She's an expert cake designer. One of the best in Bogota, Colombia. Well, she's here now, so she's the best here. She uses Instagram for learning about cakes. She never uses Facebook. She has an account. We used it for almost 3 years. We were, dating and going through this crazy immigration process, but now we don't even bother with it. And Francois, thank you for that super chat, Francois. And Chris and Emil is absolutely right. You post stuff on Facebook about your personal life, there's going to be those people out there that will use that information against you and attack you with it. I am awesome. Well, thank you. I'm kidding. What requirements do the customs ask when Mrs. Karina entered the U.S. border? They didn't ask her any questions. They asked me questions. They were asking me, oh, that's okay. So this is your second K1 visa, no problem. I said, yeah, my second one. I kicked the other one back to her home country, and they started laughing. And I said, yeah, she didn't like the weather. She didn't like the food. She didn't like the nothing about America. So I took her home, and they were laughing. They asked her they didn't ask her any questions. But what they did tell her was, Miss Karina, you have got 90 days to get married to me. You've got 90 days. That's 90 days. If you get married past 90 days, you will be deported. Karina said, we're getting married next week. And the Border Patrol in Proxima Semana. And the Border Patrol officer started smiling. There you go. He gave her a thumbs up. He stamped her passport, welcome to America, with the parole document, gave her an I-94, and said, welcome to America. And as we were leaving, our cat got more questions than we did. We got this crazy Border Patrol officer went crazy nuts over our cat. Where's Tokyo? Donde? He's right here. I'm just glad he made it through that process. Francois is talking to Chris and Emil. I hear you. I do have Facebook and Instagram. Okay. But only for fun. There's no fun on Facebook. What do you have for fun? What is there to do fun on Facebook? Besides get mad at people. because they're bashing somebody that you like. Instagram's good. Karina likes Instagram. I never used Instagram. I was on Twitter for a while, and I'm like, well, this is a waste of time. Why am I on Twitter? What is this? What's the point of this? So I got rid of that. You know, I'm going to get rid of Facebook. When Karina's green card is in her hand, Facebook will be dissolved from my life permanently. Let me see. People gossip, Francois. You know that Facebook can mess your head up. Ross Lee, I'm flying to Bogota for the interview. Good. I've been with her for almost 3 years. Same for us. And during that time, I've gone to see her more than 20 times. Oh my! 20 tiempo viaje Bogota. Yes. Ross Lee, American Airlines must love you, unless you fly Delta. They love you. You must have head of the line privileges when you get you should be first up to bat when you go take your seat in an airplane. And I hope you kept all of those boarding passes. The last time was the first time they did biometrics for me. Yeah, try to avoid the biometrics, okay? Try and make sure they stamp your passport when you go back, because you're going to need that for the green card, okay? I don't have it. I got biometrically hit. I came out of Colombia. They did the biometrics. So I don't have a stamp leaving Colombia. So I can't prove I left Colombia other than the boarding passes. So I'm just going to include the boarding passes. Francois, Diego, my fiance and I met online. Okay, that's good. I did the printout of our conversations when we started talking online. Very good. It shows the date, April 2022. Very good. Will that be sufficient evidence of when we met and started chatting? That's good evidence that you have maintained communication, as long as you have chats from April 2022 up until right now, January 2024. Every week, print a couple of your chats, 1 or 2 chats, 2 per week. So you got 4 a month, okay? So you got, you're going to have about 25, 30, 40 chats for when you go to the visa interview. You're doing good, Francois, on the chats. You're good. Let me see. Black Bella, thank you. I also was wondering how many months after the interview can my fiance wait before he comes to the States? You got 6 months. 6 months to use your K1 visa from the date of the medical exam. Karina's medical exam was on November 8th. Her K1 visa, even though it expires in June of 2024, it actually expires on May 8th of 2024. You always count the 6 months on your K1 visa expiring from the date of the medical exam. And why do I say that? Well, if you try to enter the United States with a K1 visa that's still good, okay, in the passport, but your medical exam is expired, they won't let you in the country. They'll open your package up. They're going to see your medical exam is expired. They'll say your medical exam is expired. You have to go redo the medical exam. But my K1 visa is good. My K1 visa is good. They don't care. Okay, your K1 visa is good. So what? You got to redo your medical exam in your home country, because this one's no good. Be careful, guys. Be careful. The date your beneficiary has her medical exam in her home country, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Colombia, wherever, the K1 visa start date starts on the day of the medical exam, okay, for expiration. Chris and Emma, I know my woman since 2018, late fall. It took me till 2024 for her to meet me here in the USA. But you got it done, right? It's a long time, but you did it. Michael, I have a good friend in Navarre. Very good. Visited there a couple of times. Enjoyed my time there. Good. Thinking about moving there. What are some of your pros and cons? Okay, let's talk about K1 visas, not Navarre. But I'll give you a few pros and cons. Pros, okay, the people are nice. The restaurants are good. Okay, the cons, the traffic sucks. Okay, hurricanes are close. If you live in Navarre, a beach. I lived in Navarre for 15 years. I got hit by 3 hurricanes. I was so lucky that my house, now our house in Navarre, didn't get wiped out by a hurricane. I was so lucky. My neighbor's house had a tree in his roof in Hurricane Ivan. Then we had Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. Navarre took a hit. It's a beautiful place to look at, to live, if you have good insurance on your house. Max out your homeowner's insurance. So if your house gets wiped out in a hurricane, you're going to get money for a new house. Those are the negatives. That's the only negative. That and the traffic. Okay? The traffic. That's about it. Chris, Instagram is owned by Facebook. Yeah, sure. It is. And so is WhatsApp. They own it too. They own WhatsApp. But we use WhatsApp. But the WhatsApp chats are encrypted. Okay? The only way the federal government can look at a WhatsApp chat is if they get a subpoena through a federal judge. In Facebook, all they got to do is call them up and say, hey, I want to see all these chats. Facebook gives them up. Instagram's okay, is good. If it's good, even though it's owned by Facebook. Francois Livingston. I posted pics of my trip to the United Arab Emirates because I had so many requests from friends. That's okay about your trip. No, that's fine, Francois. That's good. I posted all day, every day on Facebook when I was dating Karina. I'm flying back and forth to Bogota, and I'm taking pictures of me sitting in the plane. I'm flying back to Bogota. And then when I landed in Miami, I'm back in Miami on Facebook. All my friends were like, like. When's Karina coming to America? Oh, probably in about another year. Right? Facebook was evidence of our relationship. It's all good. Okay? But once you have utilized Facebook for whatever it is you need it for, which is to prove you are working a relationship with your beneficiary, once you get married and get her to the USA or him, you don't need Facebook anymore, right? Unless you like the drama. Francois is saying, Chris and Emil, thank you. Chris, Snapchat is good, but it eats up your battery time. I never heard of Snapchat. Never heard of it. Let me see. Chris and Emma. Okay, guys, it's time to go to eat. Being here almost 2 hours. See you Monday, 6 o'clock. What time is it? Yeah, it's time for me to go eat too. Jay Baxter, my fiance, lives just outside Chiang Mai. I just got back January 5th. It was enjoyable. I will attempt to book in 6 months to 10 months if my job will allow me. Do it. Do it. I told my boss, hey, I'm going back to Colombia. I don't know how long I'm going to be gone. My visa's good for 3 months, but I might extend it another 3 months. He goes, okay, go. Yeah, do it. Let me see. Go ahead, Jay Baxter. Get on a plane. Go back and see your fiance in Thailand. Francois, when I said I printed a copy of our chats, I was talking about our beginning chats on Instagram. I do have the past couple of years print out of all phone logs on WhatsApp. There you go. That's perfect. Francois, you doing good. Diego, this is from Incredible Man. Diego, I'm trying to make payment for U.S. application visa, but it does not give me the option to do so. Is there a glitch? What do you suggest? What country? What? Incredible Man. You asked me a question about paying a visa fee, but you got to tell me which country. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If the embassy's busy, if there's no appointments, you can't pay the visa fee. Some embassies allow you to do that. Some embassies don't. So I don't think there's a glitch. I just think that the embassy's busy and they're not allowing you to do it. But I'm going to go eat something, guys. Today's Saturday. I'll do a live stream tomorrow and continue the chat. How about that? Do you want me to come back tomorrow? It's Sunday. Huh? Early tomorrow morning. Karina said, yeah, do an early live stream tomorrow morning. And we can keep chatting so we can help you guys. We'll see you tomorrow at sometime in the morning. I don't know what time. Okay. Whenever we get up. Okay. Because I'm lazy on Sundays. And we'll chat tomorrow. Thanks for the super chats, guys. We appreciate those greatly. And we'll see you Sunday January the 28th, 2024.